Tennessee Titans fans, it is that time of the week where we get on Reddit and see what fans are saying about the state of the Tennessee Titans organization right here in the middle of May. We are first going to get on the Two Tone Talk Reddit page, which you need to get on. There's a link to it in the video description below. Go over there and post your questions, comments, memes, whatever, and they will get featured here on this segment next week. You can guarantee it. But also, we're going to check out a few posts from the Tennessee Titans Reddit page. Let's get into it. Up first on the Two Tone Talk page, this person says, I was thinking about the roster as it stands and was wondering if you guys think any of the drafted rookies are at risk to not make the 53-man roster come the start of the season. I know we've still got a few months to go, but I wanted to see your thoughts, especially if we are looking to take a lot of receivers into the season if we are rolling with Restrepo too. My guess is everyone from the draft class makes it, but if anyone were at the most risk, it would be Marcus Harris or Slater to a lesser extent, just because we have decent offensive line depth now. Also, feel free to bring up which notable undrafted free agent or free agents will be cut or make it. So in terms of the draft class, I do think Marcus Harris may be the one who is at most risk of not making the roster. I think Kalel Mullings will make it because I think they are looking for that third running back to put behind Tony Pollard and Tyjae Spears. I think Jackson Slater will make it because, yes, they have good offensive line depth, but they're all veterans. They need somebody young in there, and so that's why I think Jackson Slater will be around. And really, I really think even Marcus Harris will make it unless he's just really not having a good camp. I think Marcus Harris will make it too. I think they'll all make it. In terms of free agents that I think could be on the chopping block, free agents that the Titans have signed, I would keep a close eye on Van Jefferson. You mentioned the wide receivers and how many the Titans were going to take. Listen, you've already got veterans in Calvin Ridley and Tyler Lockett, so you've got your veteran leadership. You've got two receivers from the draft in Chimdike and Elik Iomanor. You might very well just end up bringing Traylon Burks with you. Xavier Restrepo. That's six right there. If Bryce Oliver has a better camp than Van Jefferson, I wonder if Van Jefferson could end up on the chopping block as not making the final 53. Also from the Two Tone Talk page, is this the worst schedule that we have seen ever? Having 3 playoff teams in the first 4 weeks is about as rough as it gets, and then having back-to-back road games in week 4, 5, and 6 is abysmal. And as for Cam Ward, I believe the kid is special and will do incredible things for us, but he is being launched into the deepest water the NFL schedule people could find. Is it personal? Are they Shador stans who are salty that Ward went number 1? I don't know, but the bright spot is that if Ward is who I think he is, we should be okay. But man, I was really hoping for a better start for Ward and the Titans. Okay, so the first month is tough. There's layers to this. The first month is tough. It is 3 out of 4 games against playoff teams. Great defense in Denver. Great team as a whole in the Rams. And then Houston is good too, who they play in week 4. And the game that's not against a playoff team is against Indianapolis, who is a division rival, and those are always tough games. So yes, it is tough. I will say, not so much the Rams, but in terms of the Broncos and the Texans, it could be worse because I don't consider the Broncos or the Texans to be heavyweights in the AFC or in the NFL. I think the Chiefs are a heavyweight. I think the Bills are a heavyweight. I think the Rams are probably a heavyweight. The Eagles, the Ravens, those teams. But the Broncos and the Texans are probably a tier down. It's going to be tough, absolutely, because both of those games are on the road. But it could be worse. We aren't playing like the best of the best, but we are playing tough teams. Yes, we do have 3 back-to-back road games, which are at Arizona, at Vegas, and at somewhere else, maybe Jacksonville. But we also have 4 straight home games after that. We play the Chargers at home, then we have a bye, and then coming out of the bye, we have 3 straight home games. So it's kind of a trade-off. It is not the worst schedule I've ever seen. I remember the year the Titans went 12-5 and were the number 1 seed in the AFC a few years ago. They had a stretch where they played the Bills on a Monday night and then had to come back and play the Chiefs the next week and then had to go to Indianapolis, play them, and then come back and then go to LA to play the Rams on Sunday Night Football. I think that was about as brutal a stretch as I've seen, and the Titans won all of those games. That was a much different team, but I've seen worse. I mean, I even think last year's first month, I mean, going in, starting at Chicago for the start of the Caleb Williams era, then coming home and playing Aaron Rodgers. I know the Jets didn't end up being good, but in the moment, it felt like the Jets were going to be good. Then playing the Packers and then playing the Dolphins, who everybody thought was going to be good. I felt like that first month looked even worse than this one. But this is going to be tough, no doubt about it. All right, this is also on Two Tone Talk. Awesome Titans Helmets Part 2. This is my Derrick Henry helmet from his 2K season back in 2020. Signed, it is number 15 out of 22. I've added a visor and switched the face mask for a different design and color. I also have a replica helmet signed by a CJ2K that is also super cool, but this is quite literally the most incredible thing I own. But I'm looking forward to adding a Cam Ward helmet and a replica Lombardi trophy to the collection when he wins us our first Super Bowl. What are you guys super crazy, awesome Titans memorabilia? Let me scroll down a little bit so that you can see the helmet. A very nice piece of work there. As far as crazy memorabilia for me, I'm just not much of a memorabilia guy. I don't know. I mean, I have like hats, shirts, jerseys. I guess I have a hat that I'm looking at right now. I went to when the Titans played the Bills on Monday Night Football a few years ago in that crazy game where we stopped them on 4th and inches. I was at that game, and I went and hung out by the gate afterwards, and I got my hat autographed by A.J. Brown and Jeffrey Simmons. Got my picture made with both of them. So I guess that would classify as a piece of memorabilia. But the ironic thing is, over the years, the autograph from AJ in particular has become very faded on that hat. But the one from Big Jeff still stands strong. What is y'all's win range for the Titans? Realistically, 4-13 to 13-4. Wide range there. This is from the Tennessee Titans Reddit page, by the way. My win range, I mean, listen, they went 3-14 last year. You need to be better. You've got to be better if Brian Callahan's going to keep his job. I think people aren't going to want to hear this, but if the Titans were to go 7-10, 8-9, if they were to land somewhere in that range, then this season would be a success. You know, if you can win one against the Jags, if you can win one against the Colts, if you can beat the Saints, who I believe you should beat, if you can get a win against some of those teams like Arizona, who I'm not sure about, maybe San Francisco, find a couple of wins here and there. If you go 7-10, I mean, that's enough to probably save Brian Callahan's job and to feel good about where you're going. I mean, I think that's an improvement. You got to remember, we are once again at the bottom. We are 3-14. We were the number one pick in the draft. We're the worst. We are the worst team in football currently. And so you've got to start working your way up. And most of the time, you're not going to go from 3-14 to 14-3, but you need to show improvement. And I think if you land at 7-10, 8-9, which won't get you to the playoffs, but that's heading in the right direction. So that's kind of at least where they need to land. Do you feel like the Titans are doing a good enough job promoting Cam Ward compared to the other rookie quarterbacks? So I'm not going to read this whole post. What I will say is they talk about how some of the other draft picks, Shedeur Sanders, Jackson Dart, and even Jalen Milroe, are getting hyped up by their respective teams on social media. Meanwhile, the Titans media team is not putting as much effort into promoting Cam Ward. I mean, here's the thing. I feel like the Titans social media has done a better job in recent days of posting some Cam Ward stuff. But, I mean, I don't think that they've been pushing him the same way that some of these other teams, that the Giants are pushing Jackson Dart. I mean, they're trying to build up excitement when they get these new quarterbacks in, and the Titans picked Cam Ward first overall. Now, ultimately, none of this is going to make a difference in how good he is, of course. Like, it's not an omen. But what I will say is that if you're the Titans and your fan base is coming off of a season that had us as discouraged as possible, and now here comes the number one draft pick that we're going to put at quarterback, like, you need to get these fans excited. And I don't know why the Titans aren't hyping up Cam Ward even more. I mean, we get mad at the national media for not caring. Sometimes it feels like the Tennessee Titans themselves aren't doing enough to hype him up. But, at the end of the day, it's not going to make a difference in how good he is. But it is weird that the Titans' social media is just kind of treating him like just any other old guy. This person says we should trade for Trey Hendrickson. No. Trey Hendrickson's a great player. I just don't see the Titans doing that because, yes, the Titans took steps so far this offseason to make their team immediately better. They addressed some needs, but they're also looking to the future. I mean, they're also trying to set things up to just be as good as you can be this season, but they're ultimately saying, okay, this is a process. We're not going to get it all done this offseason. Going out and trading for Trey Hendrickson feels like a win now type move. And I don't know if the Titans are in position to do that. Finally, I believe this is the last one. Levice to the Saints? With Derek Carr retiring, I wonder if we entertain any offers from them for Will Levis. I thought about this too. I mean, the Saints, they took a quarterback in the second round. And, I mean, my gut feeling is they're just going to go with him. But what if you get into camp and he's just not doing very good and you realize that you're up a creek without a paddle? You know, at that point, if Will Levis has had a good camp for the Titans and he's had a good preseason, could the Saints come a-calling? Maybe. What if the Saints were to sign Aaron Rodgers and then the Steelers need somebody? Could the Steelers come calling? Pair Will Levis with Mike Tomlin? I don't know. I still think ultimately the most likely option is that Will Levis is going to be traded at some point. I don't think it'll be any time like soon. I think it will be about the time that Malik Willis got traded last year, which is after the preseason, after he's gotten some reps and he's got more stuff on film, then maybe a team comes calling. But, I mean, certainly I understand why you would picture the Saints as a legitimate option or the Steelers. I also always think about the Rams because they're trying to plan for life after Stafford in a couple of years, so who knows? But, yeah, sure, Saints could be an option. Tighten up, everybody.